Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Dependent Fanatic channel. I am the Dependent Fanatic, and welcome to my cold garage here, the private space that I have in my house. We're going to talk about some good later on in this video, but right now we're going to talk about the bad, and that is the Michigan basketball program. So buckle up, stay tuned, like the video, share with other people, subscribe, comment down below what you think here at the end of this video. Michigan basketball has always had a pretty decent program. Going back to Fisher and even before him, the Fab 5 days, and our head coach comes from that era, and that is Juwan Howard. We're going to be talking about him, but man, what a train wreck that this program has become under Juwan Howard. Michigan is now dead last in the Big Ten standings for this season. 7-15 overall now, losing to Rutgers after having a 15-point lead in the second half and losing by 10 at home for the first time to Rutgers. So now they are 2-9 in the Big Ten Conference. They're only 4-7 at home. Michigan's 77 points per game offensively is 104th in the nation. 46% on field goals is 103rd in the nation. 71% on free throws is 206th in the nation, but it is much better than it used to be. Michigan is giving up 79 points per game. That's 335th in the nation. 46% is what the opponents are getting on field goal percentage, and that is 298th in the nation. What has happened here? Michigan basketball has always had in-game droughts of some kind or another, but they seem to be getting longer and more prevalent over Howard's tenure here at the University of Michigan. Howard is blaming the players. He called them out, at least, their effort, and something that Sanderson did, the strength and conditioning coach, earlier. Howard did not listen. Howard, I just don't think he's a head coach. He's not ready. Anyway, let's get into it. I don't want to call for anyone's job ever. I think he should finish the season out with Michigan. We'll see what happens, but they don't run off. I mean, my opinion here on Juwan Howard is he has no idea what he's doing. They don't run offense. It looks like a bunch of guys at the local YMCA or the gym or wherever you go and play hoops, running in circles, playing playground basketball is what it reminds me of. There's rarely good inbound plays. They have way too many turnovers, like 12 a game. And it's like he looked at what John Beilein built here and did as a program and decided to do the exact opposite of what won for Michigan here at the University of Michigan. Michigan has gotten worse every year under John Beilein, and let's look at that right now. Howard's head coaching record going into his fifth season. 2019, we went 19-12. He was a first-year head coach. That's fine. He went 10-10 in the Big Ten. Postseason was canceled due to COVID, so he got saved there as far as postseason performance. And then in 2021, the next season, it was 23-5. Great season. 14-3. They won the regular season in the Big Ten. It was more like a Beilein team, mainly because he still had Beilein players at the time. They went to the Elite Eight. The very next season, in 2021, 19-15, 11-9 in the Big Ten. The Big Ten was strong, so they got into the NCAA tournament barely, and they went on to the Sweet 16. Then last season happened, and 18-16 was Michigan's record, 11-9 in the Big Ten, and lost in the NIT second round. Getting worse every year. And now in the 5th season, they have 7 wins. 7! That's it. They were all early except one over Ohio State. The one win in the last 11 games was Ohio State. In the last 11 games, one win. Silver lining? No. No. They have 9 games left. And even if they could win out, it would only be 16 wins. And that would be the least at Michigan since 2014, which was a year after an Elite 8 performance under Beeline and 2 years after the first national championship appearance under Beeline. So a lot of mass exodus of players that he developed, and there was culture. They left, and we had a bad season. But he bounced back. Can Howard bounce back in this season? I don't know. Is he going to get another season? If he does, he's going to have to get rid of these assistant coaches that he keeps praising. Because, I mean, he's blaming the players. Well, you are the one that brought those players in, so it falls on you. Your only scapegoat now is to get rid of your Phil Martelli and the Michigan State guard that runs the offense, and then who's the other guy? I forget. But they were both under Beeline, so he kept them under. He's never replaced an assistant, I don't think. Even the strength and conditioning guy. So that's the one card that Juwan Howard can play if he wants to keep his job next season. I expect him, like I said, to finish this season for the University of Michigan, and then we will part ways. Just clean. Being a Fab 5 member is the only reason he isn't gone already or have been fired already, in my opinion. Like I said, I'm not trying to call for anyone's job, but I want this fixed. And it starts with Juwan Howard. So, and he's, after 5 seasons now, he's got to turn it around. And Jim Harbaugh did. He did turn it around. I wanted his head in 2020. And look what happened. So maybe he can at least get into the NIT, or what's the third tournament? Man, this has just been a nightmare of a season. He has a lot of things that he needs to work out. I know he had the heart problems. He had a surgery early in the season, but that's when we won games. Now he's back, and we're losing. Something's got to give here. Let's talk about the good now. Another program at the University of Michigan who finally got a sweep, and that is the hockey team. Number 12, Michigan Hockey, went on the road at Ohio State and swept them. Michigan scored the first goal, and then Michigan scored first and then was penalized, so Ohio State wanted a power play, but Michigan killed it. Great start to the sweep. That's all we needed right there. Michigan got another penalty, creating a power play for Ohio State, but Michigan killed again, and then Ohio State eventually scored a goal, I think, on a power play. And then in the second period, I was playing cards out here in this garage with my buddies, and we were playing some cribbage, so I could not pay attention to the game as much as I wanted to, but it ended up being, in the third period, Ohio State scored to make it 2-1. Well, they scored earlier, like I said. But Michigan scored 2 goals within minutes. I was able to listen to that over on WCBN. To go up 3 goals in this game, it was 4-1 Michigan, and I think that's how the game ended. I haven't looked up the score, but it was late in the third period. Michigan had it wrapped up. So that's the good. Michigan Hockey finally got a sweep because they are 5th in the Big Ten standings. They're only a few points away from being 3rd. They're not going to get first, probably. That's Michigan State way up at the top, 15 points ahead of us or something like that. It's possible. It's possible this young team could just start sweeping people, get the confidence in what they need. But we know what they need. They just need to get into the Big Ten tournament, win that, get a top seed, and go to the Frozen Four for the 3rd time. in a row. So there you have it. Thank you, everyone. Tell me what you think about Michigan basketball. What do they need to do? And Michigan hockey, what do you feel about that? We'll talk about football some more. Sharon Moore is putting together his staff, and I will pass along the news and what I think onto you in the upcoming days. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And like the video, share, subscribe, and go blue.